what's up? My name is John Bonjour. I am a comic artist and film enthusiast. I haven't quite drawn art for this season, but next week. And I would love to enthuse about Daredevil Born Again, episode 8. 8? Man, I always forget these numbers. It's rough out there. That is cold coffee. Okay. Okay, so this is the second to last episode of Daredevil Born Again Season 1, which is crazy to me because it feels like we just started, and in a way we kind of did, as we all, well, at least I know and a lot of people know, there was a lot of discussion about how the many rewrites that this season has gone through, that this show has gone through, the many reshoots, all the changes from what it was to what it is now, which, as I've said before, are relatively apparent, and I don't think in a lot of terrible ways, but in some ways that I think are kind of frustrating. One of those ways that I don't know if it's good or bad, I think it depends on what you're looking for, is that this was originally supposed to be one fairly long season, and it is now split into 2 9 or so episode seasons. Which means that we have had exactly 1 episode of full Daredevil, and the rest of the show has been Matt trying to decide whether or not he will be Daredevil, which a lot of people are probably going to be very mad about. I know that I've expressed in the past and in the now in the present that I would like there to be more Daredeviling in this show. That said, I do think that this is getting to that point. I think the point of this show is not no Daredevil. I don't think that their goal is to have Daredevil be a guy who shows up every 3 or 4 episodes. I think the point is that we are trying to get back to the eventual status quo of Daredevil being a vigilante on the streets. It's just taking a while to get there, and I don't think that's an inherently bad thing. I think that's a really good thing, and in this case, like this episode, I think is probably the best episode of the season. I think it's fair to say that I wanted there to be more Daredevil at this point. I wanted the show Daredevil to have more Daredevil in it. That said, I am a huge supporter of the idea that going into anything with your expectations being more important than what is actually put in front of you is incredibly dumb, and I understand that I'm fighting that in this moment. I don't think that's the way that we should approach film, television criticism. I don't think that's the way we should approach art. Daredevil Born Again does not have to be what I would have liked Daredevil Born Again to be, which means that I can fully acknowledge that this episode absolutely rules. It is probably the most tense episode of the show that we've gotten so far. It's the most emotionally mature. The relationship dynamics between Matt and Heather, as well as Wilson and Vanessa Fisk, are incredible. I think there's such an interesting mirror there. I didn't realize how much of a mirror we were really looking at. Obviously, like Matt and Fisk, that's a mirror. I hadn't realized just how much their relationships were connected, how intertwined that whole world was. I think this episode does a very good job making that apparent. Also, it's just really cool how strange it is bringing back Bullseye, which, by the way, phenomenal performance, as always. Having that shift between regular coloring and that monochrome blue kind of feel is phenomenal. It's just beautiful. It's really cool. The opening shot of that blue rose turning around, it feels like an art house movie. It feels like actual intention was being put into the way that this is shot, which is not a given in superhero movies. And I appreciate that Daredevil cares that it is good. It cares to be good. And I think it succeeds in being good. Also, ending the episode, spoilers if you haven't seen it already, ending the episode with Matt getting shot, taking a bullet, doing the thing that he was talking with the super douchey guy where he was like, that's what good men do, right? They defend the people that are their worst enemies. I think that's a phenomenal through line. But ending with him on the ground, bleeding out, and just color grading that red was really cool. I mean, it's just like, it's such a simple thing. The monochrome color scheme is not... It's not the hardest thing to pull off. It's a very effective, cool, evocative image, and I'm a sucker for it, but it's not hard. I just appreciate that they're doing something with it. The lighting has been interesting this whole season. It continues to be. That scene where Matt talks to Poindexter in the prison is just shot so cool. It's lit so cool with the backlighting coming through the windows. This show feels visually cool and interesting, and I'm so happy about that. Also, I don't know, just like... Bullseye shoots a tooth at a guy. I feel like we've talked a lot about how Matt has been powered up. I haven't really talked about how Bullseye has been powered up, how Fisk has been powered up. All of them are raised to what feels like proportional, correct degrees, and that makes me happy. I'm very excited about Bullseye just as a character. I think he's wonderful. I think they've really landed that crazy but also fun to watch kind of thing. And then ending the episode at this big black tie event, we get to connect all of these characters that have been kind of bouncing around through the whole season. It feels like we're starting to refine what we're actually going for. Is it going to be Wilson or Vanessa that's the villain? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know that this is a story with one distinct villain so much as it is people trying to do what they consider to be maybe not the right thing, but the most effective thing. And I think that makes for a very interesting story. I went into it, once again, expecting there to be a stronger hero-villain arc, and I'm way more invested in the idea that there really isn't. Wilson thinks that he's doing the right thing for the city, for himself, for Vanessa. Vanessa seems to believe she's doing the right thing on some level. Matt thinks he's doing the right thing. Heather thinks she's doing the right thing. Muse was a sicko. It's all going great, and I love that we're playing with these character dynamics in a way that feels mature and solid and emotional and is coming together to form something really interesting. The last video I did, I was trying to figure out where we were going with this season. And I think I've realized that I need to give up. I need to give up on that because I don't think we're going anywhere specific this season. I think this season is about assembling the characters, getting them to a position where they are wherever they need to be for whatever focus the show as a whole, the arc as a whole has. I was thinking during this episode that this feels kind of like the end of the middle climactic arc of a show. And I think I just need to accept that that's what this is. This is kind of a part one. And as frustrating as I think those can be, things like Mission Impossible, Spider-Verse, ending on things, Dune, ending on things where you're like, that was not a full and complete story necessarily, can be a little frustrating. And in that way, I think I don't want this to be a part one, and I've been fighting that. And I think I need to give in and give up and just let go and let God, you know? Like, I think I just need to accept that this is what this is going to be. And that's not an inherently bad thing. So I don't expect that this season is going to wrap up nicely. I don't expect that it's going to feel complete necessarily, but for what we've gotten, I could not say that I'm not happy. It would be impossible to say that I have not absolutely loved pretty much all of this season. It's so nice to have Daredevil back. Obviously, we'll see how it ends. Marvel shows have a questionable track record with ending their shows, so we'll see. Maybe the next episode is going to be just straight rough. But I don't think so. I think we're in good hands. I certainly feel like we've reached a point where there is a direction and an intention to the show, to the shows as a whole, to Marvel, hopefully. I love where we're going with this. I am loving this season, and this episode was just truly phenomenal. That's pretty much all I gotta say. So what did you think of the episode? What are your thoughts on the show as a whole? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video and checking out my channel. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on movies, comics, TV shows, anything of the like, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and comment down below what you'd like me to review next. Or do none of that because I am not your dad.